Hi, all. I'm wishing you a very happy, hopeful, and faith filled Holy Week. We made it to Good Friday. Um, it's now 7 o'clock, and I wish you and your family all the best. I wanted to give you a little bit of a background about spiritual exercises by St. Ignatius, what they are, why we do them, and then to let you engage with the text. Um, so the spiritual exercises, they're a compilation of meditations, prayers, and contemplative practices developed by St. Ignatius. And they help people really deepen their relationship with God. And for centuries, the exercises were most commonly given as a long retreat of about 30 days in solitude and in silence. And in fact, a lot of Jesuits, that's part of their formation, is that they do the 30-day retreat. But as time progresses and St. Ignatius, he's always very keen to reaching people where they are and being modern with the times. That the most common way of going through the exercises now is a retreat in daily life, which involves a months-long program of daily prayer and meetings with a spiritual director. So if you're a little bit confused about what the spiritual exercises are, I want you to know that you're not alone. Um, but it is one of the more fundamental aspects of um, the Jesuit order. And so, as you can see, this is what the copy of the spiritual exercises looks like. Um, and inside, if you're familiar with Manresa at all, you've heard of the PNF or the Principle and Foundation. That is actually the first part of the spiritual exercise. It's almost like the prologue, um, which is kind of neat and interesting. And how the spiritual exercises are broken down is that they're divided into to 4 different weeks, and the weeks are put in quotation marks because depending on the type of prayer that you're doing, the type of retreat, um, you might be doing a 30-week retreat, a 30-day retreat, an 8-week retreat. Um, so these weeks are loose. It's not necessarily like weeks like we think about them, but typically the chapters, if you will, are broken down into these weeks, where your first section is dealing with sin and God's mercy. Your second is dealing with different episodes in the life of Jesus. The third is about the passion of Jesus, which is an appropriate topic for Good Friday. And the fourth is the resurrection of Jesus, together with a contemplation on God's love. And so each of the weeks, it's usually broken down into 7 because it follows that 7-day pattern. But you might not do one per day. You might do 1 week in a day. Again, it depends on what type of retreat you're doing. But there will be there's different gospel passages that you can reflect on, and you're supposed to really tailor it to how you see God and how you reach out to God. So a lot of people, they might do imaginative prayer, or they'll try doing Lectio Divina, or all these different types of prayers, maybe an examen incorporated in these spiritual exercises. So it's supposed to be very fluid. And typically you'll meet with a spiritual director, someone who has been trained in the spiritual exercises. Um, and as such, this person's supposed to guide you, not tell you anything, but guide you through the spiritual exercises. Again, you're supposed to just encounter God in whatever way you see fit. And so a really good resource, if you click on the link that we sent out, um, deals with this Ignatian spirituality. And most of the stuff that I got is from this IgnatianSpirituality.com. And as you can see, Adventure, it's week 3. And what I noticed is that this section is actually about the first week, which is okay. I know it's labeled week 3, day 5, but we'll do the first week, day 5, which talks a lot about sin. So you can go through and read this, but I just wanted to give you some familiarity with this website. And as you can see, it's broken down into different days. And how you start and end your prayer session is up to you, but you're supposed to follow through, and it's supposed to follow through like the spiritual exercises. And so click on day 5. You can do part of the spiritual exercises. Now, it won't be with a spiritual director. You'll be doing it on your own. But you talk about my own history of sin. You can, that'll be a good way to reflect on Jesus, sin, and everything that Good Friday revolves around. And I will just leave you with this. If you really enjoy doing the spiritual exercises, John Carroll has many, many different ways that you can get involved. Um, you can reach out to the Ignatian Solidarity Network. And that's where I got my spiritual director, Brenna Davis, from. She's awesome. If you don't know her, she works there now. You can do 8-week retreat. The 8-day silent retreat is based off of the spiritual exercises too. So that would be an amazing opportunity. It comes in January. As well as different courses might have this component. I know Mrs. Carney teaches Ignatian spirituality, and part of it is an 8-week retreat like this. So I hope this helps, gives you a little bit of guidance. And again, if you feel free to start with this, start with this spiritual exercise, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, and have a good Friday.